Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And we are here to recap the third episode of the second season of Fox's retelling of the Dark Knight mythology. On the hit show Gotham. So join us as we venture into Batman's birthplace.
And explore Gotham.
Okay, what'd I get wrong?
Well,
You know what I have pulled up here? You know what intro I have pulled up?
What intro?
It's the intro to the season 1 recap
Right.
that we did. So I kind of had to improvise, and I was like, oh shit, I'm on air. And I just realized this, like, right. Professionalism. How you doing, BlueDragonFive? What do you have to get to tonight?
I'm well. So, folks, before we get into this episode, I want to point out the big news. Big news. I've been kicking myself because I've forgotten to bring up the last two episodes we've done. This is a huge news for all of Batman. Bill Finger, the true father of Batman. Of course, everyone knows the classic story of Bob Kane and Bill Finger, and Bob Kane gets all the credit for creating Batman. Bill Finger, unfortunately, due to rights issues, because in comics that's so hard to attain, but way back in the day, Bill Finger never got his name on the Batman comics. It's always been a struggle behind the scenes. The man turns 101 this year. He's finally gotten credit. So, unfortunately, it's not fully on the comics, but he has gotten credit officially. So, this season of Gotham and Batman v Superman, for all the Batman media going forward, he will have a credit finally, and it's phenomenal. It's great. So, congratulations, Bill Finger. It's long overdue. 76 years now. You deserve it, and thank you so much for your contribution. Just want to say that real quick.
Right on. That's great to hear. Okay, so BlueDragonFive, I think this is going to be the podcast where I basically eat crow about how wrong I was, and you get to brag about how right you were. Am I right? Is there going to be a little bit of that going on?
I won't brag too much. I'm just going to point out that I was right.
Yeah, you were totally right. And I was just like, oh, there's no way. Jerome is totally the Joker, and they're being way too obvious about it. Wow. Oh, that was a shocking TV moment. It was legitimately like, it wasn't just like Gotham, like shocking for the sake of just violence and ooh, wow.
I was very surprised by it.
Like, what?
I was very surprised by it, too.
You know what, BlueDragonFive? I think this is the closest that Gotham's come to reaching like a Breaking Bad level quality of an episode.
That's kind of appropriate because they had a Breaking Bad star in this episode.
Yes, they did. Oh my god. So what a way to transition. Let's just jump right into it then, shall we?
Okay, so the episode starts awesomely with a man being thrown from a window into a pile of trash. So he's okay. He's just, thrown for a loop, most definitely. And we find out this is Gordon and Bullock's interrogation method because they're ticked off, obviously, after what happened in last episode with the siege on the GCP. A lot of people dead, including Sarah Essen at Jerome's hand. And so this is their interrogation method, just showing you Gordon's Gordon's a little unhinged this season. He's upping his methods. He now he has a grasp on the city. And of course, Bullock at his side, kind of also always helping him kind of know how to get answers in this city, because you know how good Bullock is in interrogations from last season.
Well, it's almost kind of ironic because I feel like at this stage, Gordon, after losing Essen, is almost a little bit more unhinged than Bullock was in the first season.
Oh yeah, again, it's kind of interesting because in the comics, Essen did actually die at the Joker's hand. By the way,
not surprising.
And at that point, Gordon was married to her, so basically, the Joker killed his wife, and Gordon, in retaliation, actually shot Joker in the kneecaps. And basically, what he did, he shot him in the kneecaps because of what he did to Barbara, and Joker was laughing his head off because that makes sense. Your daughter. One Commissioner. So that's so dark, and it has such a powerful moment of Gordon breaking down in Batman's arms following that. It's such a beautiful moment. But they do cement kind of the importance of Essen and Gordon, because she was like the only one who really was striving for the same goal. And again, the whole little thing they had of the whole, it's a new day in Gotham. So Gordon's really, he's ticked off. And again, you have to remember, throughout this episode, a large part of Gordon is blaming himself because, again, had he not been at the GCPD, they probably wouldn't have been targeted, all because he did that corrupt action, which means he is, as always, a ball and chain to the city now because of that act with the Penguin.
Right. So a lot of ramifications from that slowly dripping in.
So that's a big reason why Gordon's really kind of really blames himself for Essen's death. Not just the fact he wasn't at the police department, it's the fact that he was there for the whole. He came back. Mm-hmm. So the awesome interrogation was just throwing guys out windows again safely, so they're not being killed or anything. Mm-hmm. But basically, he says we need to find. We're looking for Jerome Velasco, which I still think is a reference to Batman: Mask of the Phantasm with one of the mobsters whose name is Sal Valestra. Sounds very similar.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I'm just saying, of all the names you could have given this kid, Velasca, I don't know. It sounds like Valestra. But that's just maybe a fun tongue-in-cheek reference. Because Joker, let's just say Joker was in that movie, and maybe a bit of if-so fact. He had connections to Valestra. That's the idea.
Okay.
Anyway, so they're basically targeting street thugs in a building, throw them out there, saying, the Jerome Velasca killed our friend. We want answers. And Prince like, well, I don't know. Well, I can spread the word for you, though. Yeah, sure, spread the word. And basically, they throw him out the window, then cut to intro.
And oh my God, holy crap! It's like it's a self-contained little scene. It doesn't really have anything to do with the rest of the episode besides just establishing that they're looking for Jerome and they're serious about it. And it totally sets the tone of the episode.
Well, this season.
Oh my God, it's a legitimate cold open. They nailed it. They finally did it.
They've been good this season with that so far.
They've been good, but I think this is definitely the best, most self-contained cold open they've ever
I'll give you that one. So far, this one is probably the best cold open.
All right.
Then we see, again, one of our speed. This episode, I think, on the whole, is a good episode, but there is a speed bump.
So, you ready for the hilarity that is Barbara? No, I don't think you are.
Okay, anyway, so basically, Tabitha and Barbara apparently have been getting intimate, and we see them the morning after.
Oh, dear God, if this becomes a prominent plot, which I have a sinking feeling it's going to be.
I'll optimistically, I'm thinking it's going to be like a little side thing. It's just going to be like you can easily put it to the side. That's what I'm hoping.
Hopefully.
The point is, it's the morning after, and, it looks, also it appears that the whip was used in the action.
Whoa.
Yeah, basically, like Barbara says, I think you forgot this.
Oh boy.
So basically, here's the problem with this, folks. It's not just the fact Barbara's having a relationship with Tabitha. It's the reason because it feels so.
It's the fact that we've been down this road before. That's what we have a problem with.
No, here's the big problem too. In addition to just the idea of the relationship, it's the idea of how they're portraying in this scene. This scene feels so forced. It's just like it's shoving in your face. Oh yeah, Barbara, she goes that way too.
Right. It's not very subtle about it at all. It's not really. I don't think it's a very forward-thinking portrayal of someone like that. You know,
there are two moments that I just feel like in your face, hitting you over the head with the giant hammer, which we do actually get to see this episode.
Yes, we do,
and it's awesome. It's pretty awesome. It's really just it's so forced, and then basically, Mr. Gallivan, he enters the room and he provides pleasantries, which we know.
Pleasantries, Dylan.
Gallivan so far has been great with the pleasantry. He is far superior. Nick Ford, he's bringing snacks. He's bringing breakfast. This guy's awesome. But anyway, so he's bringing breakfast.
I mean, occasionally he'll kill you if it fits into his plans, but still, if you're not expendable, he'll keep you around.
He provides complimentary breakfast. This man's good. Well, to a degree. Anyway, so he brings in breakfast. Anyway, so Tabitha, she has a job to do with Jerome, so she's off. And again, then you have like a really forced goodbye kiss, and like this is weird moment, like Gallivan's just watching him.
Oh God, yeah, there are
some implications with Gallivan.
There's quite a lot of awkward sexual tension between Gallivan and Tabitha.
Yeah, we'll get to the most demented line of the episode later.
Oh God. Oh, I have no idea what to make of that.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that. We'll get to that. Point is,
okay.
So then Tabitha's off after that really forced kiss. This film feels really completely forced, just to establish. Oh, Gallivan sees that they're getting into it. I think he has a notion of that. Do we need to be reminded of it? Anyway, so she leaves. So
I got a feeling it was just Tabitha kind of rubbing it in his face a little bit.
Maybe, but again, that's before we have some potentially terrifying implications down the line.
God. Oh, dear God.
So, anyway,
Just get through this. Let's just get through this.
Barbara and Theo have breakfast together. And again, it's a nice little breakfast, like bread and scones, I guess.
Yeah.
And this is important. I think this might set up again. If they're going to turn this plot line around, at least Galvan's putting some backstory here, so it doesn't seem completely pointless. Hopefully, he says, "Oh, my sister does need a friend. She's strong but fragile. So he's got a weird connection to his sister there. We got that established. That he's seen other sides of her."
Okay, good job. That's like the one bit of character development we've gotten from her.
That's the thing. So hopefully they're going to build this into like kind of seeing like what the dark connection between brother and sister here is down the line of like why what drove her nutty.
Oh dear, it's a little bit like Norma Caleb.
Well, I wouldn't go. I'm hoping it doesn't go that far, but again,
I'm hoping it doesn't go that far either. But yeah, I don't know.
What I am saying though is I think we're going to see like why Tabitha wants in on this plan. Galvan's got cooked up. Like why what's her true role to play in all this? Because Galvan obviously has a game plan. Tabitha, we just know she's more the muscle behind things. Just want to know what her role in things are. I think this might be building towards it with him saying, I look out for my sister. She's strong but fragile. Anyway, so the plan went well. Jim Gordon escaped the GCPD unscathed, top marks. And then Theo Gavin has a really awesome line that suggests he may be Court of Owls, which is awesome. He says,
right, exactly, yeah.
There are a lot of really good lines in this episode. He says, "My family carved this city from bedrock, from a bedrock, and yet there are no bridges, alleys, ditches that bear my family's name." Basically, they're going to pay for this. And says, "Do you want strawberry?"
Strawberry?
I didn't ask. He basically put strawberry on the thing. I'm sorry. Do you want strawberry? It's just really nice. Basically, we're going to reclaim what is ours. Strawberries? I didn't ask. Really, really good.
I think this season has a lot of well-timed bits of comedy too.
Again, so far I'm really liking Galvan. I have a gripe with him later on, but we'll get to it. I'm not
crazy about him. I mean, we'll see where they go with it. I mean, as shocking as the revelation was at the end of the episode, and we'll get into it when we get into it, I have a sinking feeling that it might make the overall quality of the show kind of dwindle a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I
love this guy's performance, but there's one scene coming up that just makes me think, that could have been handled a little better, but we'll get to it. But
I'm kind of terrified that this season might have peaked with Jerome. I'm kind of terrified that we're going to look back on these 3 episodes, and then like at episode 15, we're going to be like, man, I sure missed Jerome.
I have a feeling things are going to still be interesting after Jerome, but we'll get to there.
Well, we'll see.
Speaking of which, okay, so basically the next part will basically after the end of through the next part of the plan, this next part will end with me helping you fulfill your fondest dream. And how do you know my fondest dream? Yes, I will help you destroy, not kill, but destroy James Gordon, body and soul. I heard that line. I was like, oh man, that's so intimidating. It's like, I will help you destroy James Gordon, body and soul.
So how about this? It's like, in a way, Barbara is almost kind of Gordon's personal Joker.
In a way, again, the good thing to come out of Barbara going nuts is that she is kind of a walking failure of Jim Gordon's. It's just like, you couldn't hold on to this relationship. You let work interfere with your personal life, and look what happened.
Exactly.
It drove your fiance completely nutty. Mm-hmm. This city drove her insane, which could have been seeded better. But again, let's not go back to season 1. Mm-hmm. So anyway, then we have we got some Jerome footage playing from the previous episode, him shooting at the police station, all that stuff. Bullock suggests going to the Penguin, which is obviously a good move.
And Jim, he's a little reluctant,
for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And
so this is going to pay off beautifully by the end of the episode.
It does, and importantly, Bullock is taking note that Gordon is very reluctant to do the smart move of going to the Penguin, who we need information from, who is kind of the king of the street, the king of Gotham.
I am the king of Gotham. If I can stay on this ledge and Gildean doesn't push me off.
Yep. So we also notice, like, in this scene, it's really interesting to see. It's kind of a glimpse in the future of how Gordon's going to be at the GCPD. Gordon is firing on all cylinders, giving orders.
He really is. Yeah, I really like this Gordon.
Yeah, and basically he's talking to Alvarez. Well, good thing Alvarez knows how to play dead. Otherwise, he would have been killed last episode.
Yeah, Alvarez is hanging in there.
Yeah, I'm surprised Alvarez lived.
I know, I am too. You see, it would seem like he'd be an easy red shirt to kill off.
No, he has a cool
You know
name,
what
so we
else
gotta
would be
keep him around.
hilarious? Is if Montoya and Allen were there and they happened to just get unceremoniously killed off.
Then we gotta need if this Christmas, if we open the episode of Christmas Allen's funeral, says, "Oh, Montoya's in tears. Oh, I knew him so well. He was so valued, such a valued member of this team." And like Bullock whispers, "Gordon, who's that guy again?"
Oh God! Oh God!
No, I'm kidding. Okay, anyway, so Alvarez is like tracking the circus, the Haley circus, because remember Jerome did emanate from there again, tying him into Robin in a way.
In a way, yes.
Which is kind of neat. Again, in a way, kind of let's just say cementing Joker in some way into the Haley circus.
Mm-hmm.
Also tracking his father, so basically the blind fortune teller and the Haley circus. While that's happening, someone's like looking to, like Gordon's just pointing, "Detective, who are you looking for? Helsinger, amygdala." So look, Helsinger's 6'7". He's got the mind. He has the mind of a 5-year-old child. Someone's seen him.
Then someone's trying to take down a police tape, and then Gordon says, like, "No, that stays up." And then he's getting like really kind of like high on his soapbox here in a good way.
I love this line. You know me, I love my Gordon moments. And this is just seeing Gordon.
Go ahead.
Seeing Gordon at wit's end in a Batman-like manner. It's like he's taking the tape off, saying, "This stays up till the killer's called." Then he has this great line. He says, "Sarah Essen and 9 of your brothers were killed in this house, our house. And he stood right there and laughed at us. Never forget that." Oh, it's such a good bit. Oh my God, it's one of the best Gordon moments this season so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, it's really importantly, this scene cements that Gordon is so dedicated to law, he views it as his house. Mm-hmm. And again, it's in a way he's the patriarch of the GCPD in many ways, starting here.
Right. So as Gordon's giving his big dramatic speech, someone puts a hand over his shoulder and he kind of snaps at them. What? Oh boy. And it's Lee.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Again, such a great scene. Just Gordon and firing all cylinders. Then again, it's kind of his angel of mercy, which again is Leslie Tompkins' role, usually for Bruce Wayne, but she is an angel of mercy. That's the idea. Just kind of like just trying to come.
Like props to her, man, because Gordon is just, much lesser women would just look at this and be like, "Oh man, this guy's acting like a jerk." You know what I mean?
Yeah. But again, Miranda Baccarin, such a good actress.
Oh yeah.
And it probably helps that they're dating in real life.
Oh, I'm sure that helps. Absolutely.
Oh, they're actually working on marriage right now. Again, it's kids, marriage, everything with these two. Anyway, so let's see. This is a really great scene. Again, they're kind of doing the Kim Wexler type relationship, which I love. Mm-hmm. It's basically she's trying to kind of calm Gordon down. She's like giving him some words. It wasn't your fault. And then Jim just pointing out, "Look, I know it's Lee. I know this is coming from a good place, but I can't hear it right now." And she points out, "Well, there's this fundraiser tonight, or attend a fundraiser." And then she says, "Well, look, there's this one thing I got to tell you, and you're going to be pissed about it. There's going to be a magician there." And I thought the magician bit. First of all, I love the magician runner. I think it's pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Secondly, I think it's such a cute. That's a great relationship, gay. Like she approaches him seriously. There's this one thing I'm going to tell you. I think it's going to be Gordon. More bad news, and there's just like, "There's going to be a magician." He says it with the utmost sincerity. Just kind of diffusing, like letting some air out of the hot.
Right.
Really nice.
For a moment, at least.
And basically, she points out, "Look, you gotta stop beating yourself up and kiss me." Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really.
So as they're doing that, Bullock walks up. "Well, sorry to interrupt your weirdly timed makeup session."
But we found Cicero.
Make-out session. I'm sorry.
Yeah, make-out session. We found Cicero. Also, I want to point out in the scene, it's really prominent. I don't know if it's just the continuity from the last episode or not, but you notice Ben McKenzie still has a scar on the right side of his face, like up on his head. Sure. And again, it's from him bashing into the concrete, I think, because they cover up like a marking, like a blood marking from when he was beaten up by Amygdala in the alley. I think it's them covering up the scar from when they shot it.
Yay for continuity.
Yeah. Could be cool. I just think it's like he still has that gash on his forehead from that concrete beating into the concrete. Anyway, I wonder if it's going to stick around after this. So anyways, then we have Tigress greets Mr. Cicero in his apartment, and then Jerome emerges from the shadows. "Hi, Pop. long time no see. Get
Of
it?
course,
No
we need to
see.
acknowledge who this is.
Of course. Please tell us.
It's Mr. Salamanca himself, Mark Margulis.
What have you done to my tail?
What have you done to my deal?
It's like, what have you done to my boy? But the Breaking Bad version.
Oh God.
Okay, anyway. So then we have this great scene between Jerome and his father, Mr. Paul Cicero.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Basically, Jerome, his father is bound and gagged, and he's just telling the story. And by the way, again, blind. This love of Jerome's is mercilessly making fun of the blindness on it, which, by the way, was kind of funny. Like a long time no see, and all the Braille stuff later on. Anyway, so he goes in the story that it was his ninth. That was Jerome's 9th birthday, and his mother and her boyfriend taking a break from their boning.
Of drinking and
Boozing, boning, and beating Jerome.
Crap out of little Jerome.
Yep. He's on the steps afterward, after an evening of boozing, boning, and beating Jerome. Miss Cicero walked by and he said, what's wrong? And Jerome says, my mom and the snake guy are beating me. And then Miss Cicero said, Jerome, this world doesn't care about you or anyone else. And Jerome's pointing out, well, Dad, this guy believes. There's this guy, and he believes in me. He believes I can become a star. And tonight, Gotham's going to see that. Gotham's going to see that too, except for you, because,
well,
you'll be dead. You'll be dead. Pretty funny. Also, I love throughout this whole scene, Tyrus is just in the background looking for food in the fridge.
I'm not too fond of that.
I think it's kind of funny.
I don't know. It just kind of illustrates how useless she is. I don't know.
I'm kind of
mean on her.
I think it's a mundane gag of like, well, she isn't. It's like Joker in a way going through his speech and everything. He's like, well, why is he doing that? I'm missing a snack. I'm just here as muscle to bound and gag the guy. I don't really have any role in this.
That's true. All right.
So make sure he doesn't kill any unexpected visitors who I might want to not have killed. Okay, so let's see. So then ungagged Cicero, and basically he's about to say something. I love this. Jerome knows. Wait, what is this? The I'm sorry part? It's too late for that. The I'm sorry, please don't do this. Well, it's too late for that. I have to. It's not. This is well, that's not why I'm going to kill you. Like, please, Jerome, I know I was a lousy father. No, that's not why I'm going to kill you. No.
That's not why I'm going to kill you.
Basically, he illustrates, and this is doing this all for a frame-up. Like, he has, here, look what we have here. We got blueprints of Arkham Asylum, letters to me, and take a look at him. Again, he can't see, so he, rubs the Braille on him.
I think this is, such a clever plan.
Oh, yeah, and here's a can of the same knockout gas that the Soul Eater released. Zordon, the Soul Eater.
I am Zordon with 2 A's. Or with two R's? What was it?
It's 2 A's, you're right.
2 A's. With 2 A's, yes.
2 A's. Okay, anyway, so basically it's a frame up, and they'll think you saw what a wonderful father doing this all for his son. They'll never believe that. Sure they will. Cops are dumb. Oh, and then this bit was one of the best conceits of the episode. Really, I thought it was great.
Oh, absolutely! This bit just tied everything home.
I heard that this line was going. I heard something. I heard a bit of this line, and it was going to be said during the season. I didn't know who or how it was going to factor into it, but it factored in so brilliantly.
Oh,
basically,
hey,
Dad, you're Oh, yeah. You want me to set it up?
Sure.
So basically, Jerome says, "Come on, Dad, you're psychic. Tell me, do I kill?" And again, Cameron Monaghan delivering a wonderful performance throughout this whole episode, by the way.
Yeah, so much so that I'm gonna miss him. But
we'll see. Go on. So what does Mr. Cicero say?
You will be a curse on Gotham. Children will wake from sleep at the thought of you, screaming. Your legacy will be death and madness.
Ha ha ha.
Oh God.
Say hi
to Mom for me.
I love that. That is such a Joker bit. Oh, hey, say hi to Mom for me. Then GCPD at the door. Jim and Bullock, they're at the door, and it was like silences him, and basically they kick down the door upon hearing him get killed off, and he's killed in a brutal way. So he's stabbed in the eye. I think it's kind of funny. He just stabs the blind man in the eye. Just like such adding insult to injury.
Ooh, this is going to be so ironic.
Stabs him right in the brain.
Right.
Okay, let's see. So then basically we set up here, and again, I just want not letting go of the Sal Valestra thing, Tiki. It's because in Batman Mask of the Phantasm, let's just say Joker rigged up a very similar thing with Valestra. Basically had a bomb worked with him there.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, it's something kind of very similar. At the very least, is like a similar bit of Joker rigging something to a dead body.
All right.
Anyway, so then
You're
like
talking a foreign language to me, but sure.
Anyway, so basically, knockout gas gets triggered as Gordon's looking for Jerome, and anyway, so if he gets the Bullock out of there, the knockout gas is knocking him out, and Gordon inhales a little bit of it. He's trying to get him out of there. He's a little woozy. He's a little off his game, and then Jerome is just walking around. This is such a like shark in the water bit of like, oh god, he's in the room, and Gordon's a little groggy.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Oh yeah,
just straight up like whistling and having a dandy old time.
I wonder how people would have reacted if he whistled the Joker theme. He didn't, but so a lot of people do that in fan film stuff. They have their Joker whistle the animated series theme.
What's the Joker theme? Part of my. Oh, okay, right.
A lot of people have him whistle that sort of thing because it's the animated series Shirley Walker.
I can't whistle apparently.
Anyway, so he's in the room, and basically it's like Jerome versus Jim, and again Jim is really ticked off.
Oh, this is a good fight! Oh my god,
I love this. Just basically
this straight up reminded me of something out of the Batman Arkham games.
I gotta tell you, I could feel like how strong Gordon's grip on Jerome's neck was. It was that good. It's like basically, like he pulls a gun on him, like the gun's not going off. Basically, he like grabs Jerome's throat and like presses him against the wall, like strangling him. It's really, really good.
And all while he's just trying to fight off whatever the hell blue gas that is.
Well, just trying not to fall unconscious. So just
right.
Like, I'm gonna kill you. Anyway, so then Jerome gets a gun, and it looks like he's about to shoot Gordon, and then Tigress steps in, saves the day, knocks out Gordon's because he's my dibs. I call dibs. Like, how about a flesh wound? Nope, my dibs. Knocks Gordon out because
it's gonna be a flesh wound.
Again, because she doesn't want to ruin Barbara's grand plans for him. Because she likes her.
Oh god.
Anyway, so here's.
Why do you have to say it like that?
Anyway, so then we're at another. This is actually a great landmark in Gotham. I'm glad we explored in this episode. We're in the Bowery. The Bowery is basically kind of like it's right next to Crime Alley,
Right.
So basically, this is like right next to. This is kind of like the like any Bowery. It's kind of like the. It's like in between the nice section of town and the bad section of town. It's like that middle ground. So the Bowery of Gotham is where there's the Gotham Children's Hospital benefits being held.
And I appreciate that essentially 2/3 of this episode is essentially a bottle episode in this location.
Oh yeah, this is a great set.
Oh yeah, and they make such good use out of it. I really love how much is going on here.
So Bruce and Alfred are at the event because of course it's like Wayne.
This is straight up some of the best Bruce and Alfred dynamic we've had. Just straight up, they're delightful here.
We know Thomas and Martha Wayne, they're big advocates of children's hospitals and such. And again, it's not something we're going to see in the show exactly, but like in the comics, that's how Thomas Wayne and Leslie Tompkins knew each other because they were both doctors and in the field of medicine. They did this sort of stuff.
Right.
Anyway,
so I love this idea of BlueDragonFive. I love this idea that Alfred is essentially the person that introduced Bruce to the idea of having this dual personality as like the hotshot rich kid who attends all these charity events and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, someone who's focused on this goal. So this is just like, again, like something that this Bruce Wayne does very well. It's like the very early infancy of Batman. And we can kind of see these stages, like he's still years away from actually calling himself Batman at this point, but still, it's like those little things like Alfred making a point to have him show up for these charity events. I thought was so cool.
Oh yeah, and it's just again something you're going to see a lot in this season. Just him in that kind of that dual identity. Bruce Wayne facade.
Right.
Because let's just say next episode you're going to see another stage of it with him with all the women. Well, I shouldn't say all the women. I'm just saying he's going to be like dating people for.
Is the next episode where we get his girlfriend?
Yes, we're going to meet Silver
St.
Cloud. It's official. We're going to meet Silver St. Cloud next episode. Yes.
Oh dear. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting to see how Selena feels about it, if there's any tension there.
It will be interesting, but again, it's probably just going to be him keeping up appearances, again, as the Bruce Wayne facade, so it'll be
right, like the frickin' Chinese ballerinas in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, Russian ballerina, yeah.
Russian, whatever.
I'm not sure that China's really big in the ballet, but anyway.
I don't know about that.
I think they have like the theater, but anyway. So basically,
I've seen like Chinese performance art before.
Definitely performance art, but I'm not sure ballet. We're dwindling on the wrong points here. Okay, so again, so also Alfred's pointing at. So you're right. It is a brilliant way to introduce that concept of Bruce with the dual identity to forward his goal.
Oh, I loved it.
Being behind that, because it makes sense. Alfred would absolutely be behind that, and he also points out that, well, in addition to going to this thing, there will be a magician. You love magicians.
I hate magicians.
I think it's so funny because Batman, in many ways, is a magician, getting himself out of so many messes as an escape artist. Theatricality and deception, powerful tools, the uninitiated. All right. So along the way, they meet Leslie Tompkins. So,
oh boy, here we go.
I got a minor speed bump here. Minor. Now, let me tell you why. I think there's a lot of hope.
You didn't like this?
I said minor. I don't dislike it. I'm just saying I could see Doom following this if they don't do it right.
Okay.
So basically, Alfred takes a liking to Leslie Tompkins, much like the comics.
I don't think it's going to go any further than this. I think this was just a one episode kind of like, haha, Alfred is awkward and charming.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, basically, we see Alfred takes a liking to Leslie Tompkins instantly,
very much so.
Which is fine. And again, they will also make a good couple. That's why it's a kind of conflicting thing, because they have chemistry together, definitely. But here's the thing: I can't really think of any good reason why she would leave Gordon, because so far they've shown that she's by his side and she's not just like an idiot.
Oh, and I don't think she would, and I don't think we're meant to think that she would or meant to want her to leave him for Alfred. I just think it's meant to be a joke.
Yeah, that's the thing. What I'm hoping they do, and just following that, is I hope it's just going to be cemented that the two might have something down the line.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
So basically opening the door, they met each other.
If the show goes on for 5-6 seasons, and Gordon and Tompkins break up, and Gordon meets another woman, and down the line, yeah, potentially I could see that.
I'll tell you this, though, I don't think Gordon should meet anyone else aside from Tompkins. I mean, if he breaks up there, then he's never going to meet anyone again. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
I'm saying
no one else in the comics he can potentially get with?
Absolutely not.
I mean, of course, Essence is out the window.
That's what I'm saying. So Gordon literally has no one, and that's the tragedy of Gordon. Aside from these two women, he's always a single guy.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
okay.
Okay, so seriously though, it might be kind of interesting to see these two. I like the idea that there was enough in here just to cement that they met and they might have some chemistry down the line. If they keep it that way this season, keep Gordon and Tompkins together, so we don't have any more of this in the season. It'd be great. That's what I'm hoping for. Right. So, so Selena Kyle's spotted as Alfred getting to know Dr. Tompkins here, and we have the magician runner yet again, just Alfred just for scoring.
So I hear there's going to be a magician. I'm sorry, whenever I say magician, I always want to say the word musician for some reason.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think Bruce knows at this point that Tompkins and Gordon are together?
I would think that he would know something. I don't know. I would think that he would be a little suspicious about it.
First time I watched this episode, I had a bigger problem with the Alfred Tompkins thing because I was convinced that Bruce already knew this and Alfred should know this, that Bruce knows this. But then rewatching is technically Bruce, she basically says, "Oh, I know Jim Gordon," and then he says, "Oh, well, give him my condolences." Tell him, well, is there anything I can do to help him?
Exactly.
Petey stuff. Yeah, basically, a call would be nice. Mm-hmm. So really, nothing suggesting that he would know. So it's fine, but still at the end there, I think Bruce is smart enough to realize the minute she says, "Well, I know Jim Gordon." Okay, maybe those two know each other romantically. I don't know. I think it's funnier if Bruce knows. I think he knows by the end of this. Okay, anyway. So again, at the magician runner. So again, Selena Kyle. So Selena Kyle's spot. Also, I like how she's sporting a Michelle Pfeiffer look from Batman Returns, by the way.
She is. She is. Yeah, there's a lot of Batman Returns vibe going on with
There
the
is
show.
I'm surprised. This season has a lot of Burton in it. A lot of
Right,
Burton this
right.
season. More than the
And I
first.
like that. You know what? I kind of wish that the films would have gone a little bit more whimsical with Batman than they are. As much as I am looking forward to the Affleck Batman, I just don't want it to be so uber serious that we just can't, that there's absolutely no levity to it. So that's why I do appreciate Gotham. And I appreciate kind of the warped sense of humor that Gotham has at points.
Right. Okay, so Bruce and I believe Bruce and Selena have a scene here as Bruce is catching up to Selena here, and basically we see she's pickpocketing people left and right, which of course is in her wheelhouse, which she's gotten better at, by the way, since the pilot.
Yeah, she has. She has.
Again, that was a big plot point of season 1. She was able to steal something from the guy, but then again, the guy knew about it, so I guess she still had some room to learn. But now she's much better at it. So, so Bruce points out,
Selena, these people are here for a good cause.
Yeah, for
me eating is a good cause.
Yeah, she raises a decent point.
She does. She does.
Yeah, and basically, speaking of which, I stole something for you. So how'd it go? Well, it worked, but it didn't pan out as I expected it to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so
there's going to be a magician.
I hate magicians. Then again, I think it's kind of cute. She hates magicians like Bruce, and again, down the line, Bruce is kind of a magician himself. So just just at this point, they both dislike magicians. So like, these are two kids that should be mingle at the party. They don't like the magician. Okay, so then we have a scene between Gallivan and Barbara.
Oh boy!
So basically, Gotham wants to basically point out as apparently Babs is dolled up in something for the party. Gotham wants a hero. I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah, the hero that Gotham deserves right now.
Not the one it needs, though. And also, the point, feels kind of forced, but I just wrote off. It's okay, I guess. He points out, oh, great cape.
That was fine.
I think it's kind of like, I kind of liked it because it's kind of 3 Batman references in one. Because one, it's Gotham wants a hero, and I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to him. Maybe a bit of. I'm not saying it has to be or anything. I'm just saying maybe a bit of Ledger with. I'm going to give it to him.
And I'm going to give it to him.
And of course, the whole hero thing.
Oh my god! I quoted that line to my friends so much. I'm going to give it to him.
And the whole hero thing, of course, the ending of Dark Knight and the cape just being Batman in general. So again, maybe a trio. That's the thing I forgave the cape thing. It's kind of a trio of Batman references in a way. So
Jerome's filling in as the magician at the last minute.
The great Rodolfo. So he's substituting at the last minute for a magician who he is bound and gagged within his magician's trunk. Gallivan and Tabitha are at the charity event.
Yeah, talking with Deputy Mayor Kane.
Kane. Wish we got more Finger in there, but Finger's kind of a harder name to sell. But again, he's on.
Yeah,
he now has credit.
All right, so Kane's pointing out that people get curious when rich and handsome people show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, and his wife is killing him to get some details. He's going, give me something.
Oh god. Oh god.
So basically, my wife wants a tidbit, and then here we bring out the Bates. Bring out the Bates Motel keys. Okay, so essentially, that has a really weird line. It's meant to be weird just to get the guy to shut up, but still, out of all the lines you could have said, she says,
"No, I mean, look. My whole thing with this, and this is why I don't like Tabitha. I actually think that Tabitha might be the Barbara of this season. Dare I say?
I mean, she actually does things like she shot people. She killed Doc.
But still, what bothers me about this is the fact that it's like this guy is specifically wanting something. Like he wants like a tidbit. He doesn't. Like, he's obviously, if you give him something like this, then it's going to be like something that he can use and be like, oh, these, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It's just out of anything that she could have told him, it's just stupid. It's just stupid to bring it up. There's no reason to do it.
All I know is down the line they've promised some interesting stuff with Tabitha, but you're right. She does have
This isn't Game of Thrones. We don't need that kind of shit here.
You're right. I'm just saying you raise a great point to you that she does have potential to become the Barbara of this season. But I don't know. So far they've kept their word on a lot of things. I'm thinking they said basically she's going to be a mentor to Selena. I'm hoping that goes well.
Oh, I don't know about that. We'll see.
I was saying that's the opportunity to give her some character. If it doesn't, then
I mean, keep in mind, if she's the Barbara of this season and she's the mentor to Selena.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, again, I'm saying that's what they say. That's the direction they're going in, but whether it's going to go good or not, I'm hoping it's going to go good. And that's going to give her some character, I'm hoping.
Well, so far, I'm just saying, so far out of the 3 episodes we got, she's definitely kind of like my problem focus of the series.
Right. Okay, anyway, so basically, so what she does say is that, he's a monster in the sack. First, again, the problem with that is like Galvan points out this is my sister. First of all, that's the big problem. Is like saying
that's my issue with it, man. That's totally my issue with it.
Yeah, you're absolutely. I know you're right. And again, now here's the smart part of the scene. Galvan's pointing out, "Oh, have you seen any sign of Mayor James?" Because again, this guy's the acting mayor, and that's important. This guy's the acting mayor. Have you seen Mayor James? And of course, Galvan knows exactly what Mayor James is. So again, cementing. Galvan is taking some interesting steps here, just to cement. He's the hero coming into Gotham, just kind of saving it from a lot of chaos going on, while he is indirectly causing the chaos.
Exactly.
Well, not indirectly. He's entirely.
He's basically like the Charles Manson causing the chaos, essentially.
I don't know. Charles Manson do you really have a game plan at the end of the day, or? I'm saying it's just
not necessarily, but yes, in his own kind of twisted, warped sensibilities, his game plan was to follow the Beatles and what he thought the Beatles was telling him to do. Yeah. So. Yes, I guess.
Manson's another can of worms we're not going to go into right now.
But I'm just saying, Gallivan's whole thing is, having this other crazy group of people doing the crimes for him.
Okay, I think you raise a fair point. I never thought.
Yeah.
Might be.
Keep in mind, Manson was never like, well, actually, in the early beginning, this is going into a can of worms. You're right. But really quick. In the early beginnings, Charles Manson was actually like. When he first showed up as a public figure, he actually kind of was sort of regarded as just this weird kind of like hippie guy. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So I don't know. I'm sorry. Anyway. Let's cut this off.
Right. So then we have continue the conversation with Leslie and Alfred. Alfred's trying to ask her out to Chez Parnez.
Oh boy.
Chez Parnez. And again, Leslie and him, she's firmly saying no. And the way the scene play again is making me think it's almost forced. It's almost forced. I think it's fine, but it's bridging on the line. Like for a moment it seemed that she's enticed because she can't get a word in edgewise. And had the scene gone the conventional as season 1, it would have been, oh wait a minute, maybe I will consider his offer. I can't get in the Chez Parnez with you. But thankfully they kept her to her Kim Wexler guns here, where she says, "Well, she's still not sold on it." It's like
really, what kind of deters her is when Alfred's like, "Oh, and by the way, you have very beautiful eyes."
Yeah. So again, it would seem that had this gone in a negative way, when she is distracted and she agrees to a date, which obviously she didn't do because she's smart and she's a much better character than season 1 Barbara.
Of course.
At least she didn't go off with a serial killer and kill her parents.
Nathan.
A flying serial killer at that. Okay, anyway, so Bruce
Reborn is actually not bad, by the way.
I've watched 2 episodes of it.
It's pretty decent.
Anyway, so basically Bruce shows up and I love this idea that he's harshing Alfred's dating mellow. That he just kind of interrupts him and says, "Alfred, I want to leave." And I was just trying to get Bruce away. So, but I'm working here. Bruce, get out of here. Anyway, basically, Bruce wants to leave, and he's harshing Alfred's mojo, and basically, I think he forgot her drink, and then basically, now the window's closed for that date or any discussion on that date, and then Leslie says, "Well, I have MC duties. I do hope you stay. Hope you stay for the magician
for the world."
So then we get they're blending some Batman here, and I like this. We get a very Schumacher-esque act here. This magic act feels very Schumacher-esque.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's very Batman Forever. Anyway, so basically in this very Schumacher-esque, Jerome and Barbara on stage, and
Barbara, yes,
and Barbara essentially.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now, BlueDragonFive. I'm just like, let's just lay the cards out on the table. Like, do you buy that Tompkins doesn't recognize that it's Barbara until the mask falls?
Well, no. The idea is even before the mask falls, she has a suspicion that she's seen it before. Then when the mask falls, it's like complete confirmation. So she's smart enough to get an idea of it.
Good, because that kind of bothered me.
It's like she has a familiarity about it, so she's kind of picking up on it.
Okay, so at least she's on edge. You're right.
She is. Like, she's noticing. It's kind of like there's a scene. Literally, this whole sequence this whole Jerome plot line does remind me a lot of the animated series, which I really liked. That Joker has done something like this in the past, where he's at a he was a magician at a birthday party. In fact.
Oh yes, I actually saw that episode. I think.
Yeah, he was a magician at a birthday party, and Bruce Wayne does he recognize the laugh, and he has this great line that Kevin Conrad delivers, says, "That laugh."
right. Oh,
okay, anyway, so interesting. Yeah, so Cameron Monaghan's performance of Joker. Let's talk about this for a brief bit here. His performance of the Joker is brilliantly. In addition to his own thing, basically the way he delivers lines is his own thing, but he's homaging at the same time in various scenes different Jokers, a blend of different Jokers. So in this scene, it's a lot of Mark Hamill meets Cesar Romero.
I mean, I honestly think it's going to be nearly impossible going forward for there to not be at least a little bit of. I would say the two most prominent ones are definitely Hamill and also Heath Ledger.
Well, I think Jerome on the whole is a Nicholson Joker. I think that's his main Joker that he is.
I kind of got more of a Ledger Joker out of him.
Well, that's the thing. I think he's primarily Nicholson with Ledger quirks.
I guess so.
I'm saying like the main combo for Jerome is Nicholson and Ledger. Then in moments like this episode, it's a lot of Romero.
But let me just say, anytime that Cesar Romero gets thrown into the mix, I love it because Cesar Romero is like he's not my favorite Joker, but he's one of my favorite Jokers. I really appreciate it.
Hey, they're all great Jokers. They all are.
Yeah.
So the point is,
dare I say I would put Nicholson at the bottom?
Well, I don't know about that.
I might have to put Nicholson at the bottom.
Again,
I feel like Nicholson is the one that put too much of his own personality into it and not enough of the character.
I know, but his own personality did fit for Joker, though.
I know it fit, but still, I feel like all the other people kind of transformed for it. But anyways.
So Hamill's obviously at the top of that.
Bold opinion. Yeah, Hamill's at the top for sure.
No contest whatsoever.
Yeah,
but anyways, in this very what I mean by Jerome kind of showing his Cesar Romero side here is again it's like basically in the '60s Batman show, again a lot of '60s Batman within the show, like basically easily you can tell it's not a magician with real facial hair and everything. It's like a guy in a costume, right. And it's kind of funny facial hair on a Joker.
Exactly.
But still, it's like basically it's like Romero Joker would always do this in the '60s Batman show, pretend not to be the Joker when it's very obvious it is Joker. And again, it's also a mix of that Batman episode. It's To Be a Clown. That's what it's like. Be a Clown. That's what it's called, where he's pretending to be a birthday magic clown.
Right, exactly.
Basically portraying this very hammy magic act. So again, it's a lot of. It feels so Hamill. Basically, I think the wit is Mark Hamill-like, but the presentation is Romero-like. So then the doors close. I need a volunteer. Now, first of all, I feel so silly for this reflecting on it, but this is one of the most tense sequences in the episode for me.
Oh, it is. Sure.
I know, because he's going to make it out okay, but you're so caught up in the moment, though, because again, it's his show, in part.
No, what if the twist in the show is that Bruce dies like midway through season 3 and then Alfred becomes Batman?
Oh god. Okay, anyway, so so basically, Jerome's looking for the great Rodolfo's looking for a volunteer, and then Bruce is picked.
Duck.
And the minute he picked Bruce, I was like, I feel so silly, just like, no, Bruce, no. It's a no.
But I like this. Alfred's all like, "Go on, Master Bruce, be a sport."
Oh god, it's like Alfred. It's like it's like the scenes in the movies where the kids are supposed to point at, "No, don't do it." It's so tense. It's so tense. And again, I love one of my favorite things. I actually speculated this in the first season. What I wanted to see in season 2 of like a scene between Bruce and a potential Joker having a scene together, and I got it, and I was so happy.
You got it. You absolutely got it, and I think this is going to leave a big effect on Bruce.
Oh yeah, so I love the idea of in some way Batman is in a Joker death trap. Trap.
Right, absolutely.
And exactly, almost in a completely identical way to Be a Clown, Batman is put into a magic trap. He's basically in the Houdini water torture thing, and he escapes from it. So here it's like in the dividing box gag. So, but still, and of course, when he pulls out the blades, the dividing blades, I was like, oh god, no.
And
Again, we know
he's really nervous.
And again, we know he's going to be fine, but it's still really tense, though. It's really well done. It's like I was like, going, no, Bruce, get out of there, get out of there. And then
this wasn't a bit. Is there a doctor in the house?
The minute he says that, I love Alfred is now smart enough to catch on. Wait a minute. Wait, I just love Alfred saying, hold on.
Right.
Yeah, this is, again, it's so brilliantly done when you think of, well, everyone knows he's going to be okay, but you're still at the edge of your seat. But yeah, really well done.
Yeah, I feel like the new movie that came out this week, The Walk, like with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I feel like that timely, I know, but I feel like that's a good example of like, you obviously know the guy's going to be okay, but still in the last 40 minutes of that movie, it's going to be suspenseful as hell.
Yes, I mean, they did a really good job of making me buy into the tension here, and it worked.
Right.
Anyway, somewhere we see this great scene between Gordon and Bullock in the locker room. They're Bullock's dead tired. He's practically sleeping. Basically, they have this chat about going home, and Bullock says, "I'm not going home until you go home," that sort of thing. Really nice scene between these two. And basically, Gordon is not sold on the old Cicero being the culprit here. He says, "Well, Jerome's just a kid. Look, every evil guy started off as a kid."
I love that line. That was another like really good philosophical Bullock line.
I know, and it kind of maybe cements how Bullock might be against Batman when he first appears.
Oh, definitely. I didn't even think about that. Good point.
I'm not saying he would know who Bruce Wayne is, but then again, this continuity might be a little up in the air. Who knows what?
Yeah.
So it's the idea of like it's a lot kind of reminds me of like how Bullock is against Batman very vehemently at first, and like how he's not crazy about these.
I honestly forgot about that whole side of Bullock's character until you brought it up.
The idea of like until he sees, it's such a rocky relationship at first between those two, and the end end up being kind of really close. If Gordon's not around, then Bullock's kind of the honorary Gordon. Again, and Batman has at first he has no respect for Bullock. He just shoves him around. Says, hey, creep, that's evidence. Like shoves him around. And this is great where he grabs Bullock by the lapels and says, "Do you want to live, Bullock?"
All right.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. So then we're basically back to square one. So Bullock's now, yeah, you're right. It's probably not him. Still, we have no leads now. Then look, you should go home. You need some rest. You got hit with a lot of that gas. Then basically, Gordon points out, you know what? Yeah, we'll go to Penguin tomorrow. You were right, Bullock. I love that moment. It's like him pointing out that vulnerability. Bullock, you're absolutely right, and we should go to Penguin. But again, importantly, Bullock notices how hesitant Gordon, how terrified Gordon is of going to the Penguin.
Right.
How worried he is, and because of this, Bullock says, never mind. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Basically, I'm going to get some rest. I'll see you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And basically, the idea is Bullock's going to be doing some other stuff while what's going on. Okay, then we come back and we see Bruce is fine, and he is split apart. And again, Jerome has a really great line. Again, a double line for Batman down the line. Like,
I actually thought this was a little too on the nose.
Oh, come on. This one was fun.
Fine. I'll give it a pass, but I thought, really?
This was cute.
All right. Well, Bruce Wayne certainly has a split personality.
I'm saying, of all the people to say that, come on.
You're right. Of all the people to say that, it is appropriate.
Should be this guy. Okay, so then Leslie's starting to pick up on he recognizes the girl and the magician.
Right. Which good on her. It makes her not an idiot.
So then the deputy mayor volunteers, and at this point I knew, oh god, this guy's a gone.
No, he calls him to the stage.
Yep, calls him to the stage, and god. Well, so I guess Bruce was the opening act, and now okay. So then
Barbara's mask just clumsily falls off.
Leslie smartly instantly picks up the phone, calls Jim, tells him as much.
Let me ask you this: when Barbara winks and puts the mask back on, do you think she was winking directly at Tompkins?
I didn't think of that. I think she's. Honestly, I thought she's just conceited enough that she just does that because she's like the cute assistant in her way.
Okay.
Like, I'm the cute assistant. In a way, I'm not saying. Again, I want to make this perfectly clear. I am not saying she is Harley Quinn because she is not. But it's very Harley-like behavior.
Let's hope she's not.
I'm just saying she acting like
as balance this episode.
That's what I'm saying. So that's not that's not encouraging for the direct not Harley. That'll be a huge mistake if she's Harley.
Oh, it would be. Make her chase Meridian instead.
Yes. Anyway, so basically, Deputy Mayor is deputy mayor's called up, and Tompkins is knocked out. She's chloroformed and dragged off before she can get out all the information. And Gordon pretty much says, Jerome and Barbara, they're here at the children's benefit. Get down here, quick, yeah. So then Jerome says, before he pulls off his little act, he says, "No, one more thing. Nobody's getting out of here alive." Everyone laughs.
Oh, God.
Then he does the knife throw, which you think, okay, he's just going to go around the guy. Well, obviously, we know this not to be true, and just throws it directly at his chest. I love Bruce's horrified reaction to death. Bruce witnessing death is always a traumatizing thing for him. You got to remember.
And I love the fact that, like, this is going to be, arguably, this is probably the biggest defining moment of Bruce's life since his parents' death. Would you agree?
Yeah. Again, it's so brilliant. I love this young Batman going up against Joker in some way. It's so cool.
I know.
Again, it's my easy button. If they did that, I'm a game for whatever they have. They can just give me that moment, Just do anything like that. Okay, I'm sold. I don't care what you do. Just give me some of that. Okay, anyway, so let's see. So then, Bruce in the chaos, he's following after basically men pull out Uzis from like the waiters pull out Uzis from under their napkins and stuff. Which again is also. It might be kind of a reference to '89 too. Basically, like waiters around
I also
the place.
think it's got a little bit of a Nolan vibe from that as well.
Very Nolan-esque. So, hey, forget what I'm saying about the '89. Yeah, it's very Nolan-esque.
You know how Nolan loves his I'm sorry. You know how Nolan loves his like gunmen. He
does. He loves his gunmen. Okay, anyway, so these men pull out Uzis, they're firing up the place just to cause chaos, and just like because people can't get out, just freak them out a little bit. Anyways, so as I was having Selina Kyle's making a break for the exit, and Bruce, awesome Alfred fight here. Alfred, he disarms.
Oh hell yeah, Alfred kicks some ass.
This Alfred was so cool in this episode. He really he's taking guys down and basically Bruce get it because he's in defensive mode right now. That's his goal. Keep this kid safe.
I'm just loving Alfred more and more. He's becoming one of my favorite Alfreds.
Oh, he's so good. Anyway, so basically, as he's fighting, Bruce, get out of here, and he's following Selina Kyle. Bruce, and then Alfred is then taken down. Now he's held hostage, and so Bruce is running after Selina. Meanwhile, we have Gordon's on the scene. He kind of takes charge of the situation. We have this beat cop there with an attitude. Who, he kind of weighs on me.
Oh, whatever.
I'm just saying not like, he's intended to. That's the idea of like this beat cop who like he says, well, it looks like you're giving the orders, and then he's just cowardly. It turns out.
Well, at least he knows that Gordon's the right guy to be giving the orders.
Yeah, he's a little sassy for my taste, but it's fine.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, so then Jerome, Jerome then calls Gordon, who's outside. He says, "Wait, are you here? Oh, you're here right now. It's so yay!
Ooh, yay!"
Just Jerome is so heavy. Again,
please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Please be a secret door. Yay!
So basically, this whole scene now, Jerome is fully transformed into Mark Hamill Joker for the
I would say so. Yeah.
until his last scene, he's Mark Hamill Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so basically, as Jerome calls the outside, he's talking to Gordon. This is such a classic Mark Hamill Joker thing. Like Mark Hamill Joker always took over the television set, and he always do. That's a Joker thing in general, always taking over the television set.
yeah,
and having a ball. So I love the idea of Jerome is doing this. He was just taking over TV. He's like, well, go to your local, go to a television set. It's being broadcast globally, after all. Not globally. It's being broadcast to the whole city, after all. It says, James, take a breath. I haven't hurt her. I haven't touched a hair on her head. Take a look. So he's basically USOB. He says, true, but not the point. Just love it. Like, he has so many good lines. Like, true, because remember, he is, after all.
Yeah, absolutely.
True, but not the point. So let me hear my demands.
Okay, hold on. Let me. So he's got some demands.
Yes.
He's got some demands. So he wants $47 million. He wants a helicopter. Of course. Anything else besides the humorous last thing?
Oh yeah, I know. He says, also, I need my dry cleaned from Mr. Chang's, and be careful, that man's a crook. And what else?
Oh, I don't know. A pony.
And I want it in 10 minutes, or I start killing people.
No, I gotta say, BlueDragonFive, I watched this episode after coming back from the hospital from my things that I've been having, and I was all like dosed up on Vicodin and everything, and I just absolutely lost it when he said the pony line. I was just, oh my god!
So that bit right there,
that was the most humorous thing ever.
So that's his most Mark Hamill scene.
A pony.
So that whole string, all that string of demands, that's pure Mark Hamill Joker, and I love.
I just love the idea of the Joker asking for a pony. That just tickles my funny bones.
Man, again, I love it's so brilliant. He's just asking for completely unreasonable things within 10 minutes. He wants all of that stuff within 10 minutes, or he starts killing people. He's just saying, "Well, I'm just going to kill people on live television. Nothing you can do about it." Yeah, he's just doing it just to tick off Gordon too, which is even better.
Right.
And it's being broadcast to all of Gotham, after all. You better get on it because you don't want that to happen. Anyways, then I love this. Oh, this bit's brilliant. I love this is just the actor doing something great stuff. But all that's Mark Hamill. This is just the Cameron Monaghan Joker coming out. This is really good, brilliant stuff here. It's just he's laughing his head off into the phone. And basically laughing, like the camera's seeing him laugh directly into the phone. We then cut to him. He turns around like in a quick turn, not missing a beat. Then he like completely changes his tone and says, "I think that went quite well."
Yes, it did.
I think that went well. Just like laughing his head off. I think that went well. Great stuff. Then Gallivan takes a stand. Again, this is all still being broadcast. Again, the Gallivan seating is playing here, but I got a little gripe here with this performance. So, Gallivan takes a stand. Again,
I think the gripe that you have is probably intentional, though.
I don't know. We'll see. Basically, so Gallivan takes a stand. He basically denounces Jerome. It's all part of his plan here, just saying,
"You're a small, vicious man with a pathetic need for attention." And then Jerome kind of just takes a bow.
And again, basically, my gripe is that he's very theatrical. He's maybe a little too theatrical in the scene. I
feel like that's the point, though. I kind of feel like we're supposed to think he's kind of bad at it. He's kind of awkward at it.
Maybe. I'm saying because I have a gripe with it because in a master plan where he's convincing people he's the hero, it seems like there's this one bit in there. It's a bit where he says, "And you are Theo," and basically the camera, like he turns.
Yeah. When he looks right at the camera, I totally think that's intentional, though.
See, that's what I'm saying. That to me looks more sloppy than intentional. But if they go somewhere with like a penguin's umbrella type angle, maybe it'll sway me. I
don't know. For me, I totally think that's intentional. I totally think later on in the series, we're gonna see like them watch that footage again and see him like, look, he looked right at the camera. He's announcing who he is. Like they're unraveling his plan. I don't know. I think that's gonna come back.
Well, I mean, I know that's how they're going to.
I think that's him being sloppy, and I think that's the writers writing it in as him being sloppy.
Well, you might be on to something. I'll give it a chance. They haven't steered me wrong so far.
Okay.
So far. Again, Barbara stuff withstanding.
Oh God.
But still, just like him looking at this, if they took the bit hours, they're both looking.
There's
at
nothing terrible that's happened with Barbara yet. It's just potential for terrible things to happen.
Yeah, but still, though, again, I love. However, I want to give props to the actor playing Galvan here. By the way, he's from Agent Carter.
Is he really?
Remember Leet Brannis, the guy with the weird throat thing?
Okay, yeah,
vaguely. That's him. The guy who had his voice box taken out. That guy. Anyway,
I watch that.
But seriously, though, I love how he portrays Galvan. I love the theatrical delivery and everything, though. I do love that, though. It's just saying, there must be some human decency. He just sounds so official. I love it.
Right, and I think it's totally the point that he's hamming it up. That's what I got out of it.
Basically, we don't know his plan yet. That's why, and we don't know his full plan. This might play in. You're absolutely right, Tiki. There's a very good chance it could directly play into his plan. That's why he's being overly theatrical. Or is that? I think
there's a good chance that this might just be like a slip in judgment on his part, and it might come back to bite him later.
We'll see. There's many potential ways it could go, but I think you're right. There's some more to it. I think you swayed me on that one. Okay, so
then I definitely think that him looking directly at the camera when he says his name, I think that's definitely intentional.
Anyway, so then he's hitting the back of the head with a giant hammer, a la Barbara. I love how you get to see her second watch, and you notice like she grabs the hammer, puts it behind her during the broadcast, and bang, right on the back of the head. And I love how later on she's going to be like consoling, "Oh, you got a bump on your head because she did that." Of course.
Oh boy.
So let's see. So then we got Bruce following Selena. Basically, Selena's going to the exit, and then basically, well, we're not going back. Well, I know Alfred's back there. I got to go back. So basically saying, "Well, why did you come out here then?" Well, look, I know you're no way I'm going to get you to come back with me. I just want to tell you I missed you.
Aww.
Now, what I think it's two things. I think there's a strategic point of this, but also it's him just saying I missed her because he hasn't seen her in a while. He just wants to say, "Well, look."
And we'll see where that goes, considering he's about to get a new love interest soon.
Again, keeping appearances.
Anyways.
Anyway, right. So basically, I think it's strategic point.
I know we're on the right track. We're on the right track. Just letting you know.
So basically, I'm saying it's a strategic point because he's getting a vantage point. He basically threw an exit that no one's going to look towards.
Good thinking.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like him. It's him seeing that Selena gets out safely, first and foremost, and saying he missed her and saying goodbye to her, and secondly, getting a good vantage point on things for like seeing if he can strategize a way to save Alfred and save the whole lot of them. So again,
that's really future Batman in action,
and exactly what a Bruce Wayne would do with the dual identity. Like that's what Bruce Wayne does in these situations. He in his suit and tie, and he gets out of there just to get a vantage point until he gets his costume. Okay, so getting forward.
So Jerome, he's about to shoot an apple off of a guy's head, and he's going to be very sloppy with it. He's just like, "Oh, I can't look. I can't look. Tell me what happens." And then he shoots, and it's a water gun.
Oh yeah, I saw something really funny. He used like ginger ale on a woman, like told her to open her mouth, and he fired. Oh, it's ginger ale. And basically, there's this whole great thing where he pranked a bunch of people. It looked like he was going to do horrendous torture acts to him, but really just like showing the people like, hey, I didn't do anything wrong here, guys. I just played around.
Oh god.
But then the second one, he pulls it. Just Barbara's laughing her head off. Jerome pulls out a gun, and then fires the apple right off the guy's head. Well,
applause.
Yep. So it's kind of Victor's ass. Please. Just like a well clap, and Joker would do this to his henchmen all the time on the animated series. Like,
oh yeah.
Just looks at him funny, of like, clap, would you? So basically, Gordon wants to go in, but the cops won't go in. So Gordon says he'll go in himself, and he sees Selena exit. So basically, he knows where to enter with a good vantage point that Bruce is waiting at. So let's see. So then we got Barbara and Leslie. They have a scene here. So basically,
Hold on. Barbara and Leslie, yes.
Barbara and Leslie, they have a scene together, and basically, Leslie is strapped to the knife throwing board. Has like a little armrest and everything. So being turned upside down, all that stuff, all so demented. Barbara's just like toying with like spinning her around as she's talking to her and saying, I predict that within a year, Jim and I will be back together again. Because you know why we'll get back together again? Because he and I have a dark side. We do. And what are we telling our grandchildren about this man-eating harpy? And in the end, love conquered all. And Leslie does the sensible thing and kicks her.
Yeah, good.
And then Barbara's so nuts. She's about to stab Leslie and kill her, but thankfully Jerome steps in. It's not part of the plan. We got hostages to kill and waste here, not her. We basically save her for Jim. Save her when Jim comes in so we can see, I guess. But then, she knocks out Leslie down, like punches her out. So again, just that does give some credence to my theory with Barbara, is that now she still sees herself with Gordon, and she's going to be tried to, have that relationship through twisted means, and she might go the Mason Verger route. I'm terrified.
Oh dear God!
I think regardless, when she says grandchildren, it makes me think that some way or another there might be kids in the picture, whether they are Gordon's or not.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying they might actually work, because interestingly enough, Tiki, in the comics, originally Barbara Gordon, his daughter, was his brother's kid who died, and he raised her.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that was they go back and forth. Like New 52, right. Like now they went back to the natural thing because everyone likes the natural thing better. Which I agree on that one. The natural thing is what the animated series went, because the other thing's a little complicated to get through. But so I'm saying the point is James Jr. was the natural one with Barbara Keene. That was the natural kid. So whether she has that without Gordon's direct involvement, or whether she adopts a kid and just calls it, whether she kidnaps a kid and calls it James Jr. and raises him to be a psychopath. I don't know.
Oh, that's awful. So many awful possibilities.
I'm just saying. Again, could be just twisted in place of. I mean, they could make it work potentially if they just make it really twisted and dark. Because that's what James Jr. Tiki is, the darkest Jim Gordon story you've ever read. That's true. You've told me about it before. It is. Scott Snyder writing that story. He created them. But,
okay.
It's dark stuff. Anyway, it's big stuff to gravitate towards. Anyway,
so for tonight's first volunteer, I'd like to call it, or I'm sorry.
For tonight's first official victim.
Yes. I'd like to call upon Gotham's honorary orphan. His parents were murdered in an alley.
And
He's
my
our poor little rich
volunteer.
boy and my favorite volunteer.
This scene, I love the scene. Again, it's just building tension between Batman versus Joker in some ways. Just like
Exactly.
it's basically it's Jerome saying,
"Where are you, Bruce? Come out!"
And you have such an awesome moment, like Bruce Wayne behind the curtain, just like pure. Yeah, I'm getting a good vantage point. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He's just thinking of a way out of it, how he can save Alfred. He's looking around, and he's just saying, "You know, Bruce, I'm an orphan too.
Oh God!
But I killed my parents." That is so twisted. I was so hoping for that. That's exactly what I wanted in season 1. I want a scene where he makes fun of him for having his parents killed.
Right. Exactly.
You know, I'm an orphan too. I killed my parents. And then basically, then there's this great, he's behind the curtain again, such a tense thing. Like Jerome's like the shark in the water almost. It's like just waiting for him just to look over almost.
Right.
Then Alfred's on the spot purely because of Barbara saying, "Well, shoot the butler." Because
good job, Barbara. Good job.
Purely because we're supposed to be rooting against her. I really hope she gets shot.
No, fuck being shot. I think she needs like a graphic, like Jurassic World lady being eaten by the frickin', pterodactyl death. I think she needs one of those deaths.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool, actually. I wouldn't mind seeing
Right? Just like something really elaborate in Breaking Bad style.
Right, okay, anyway, so again, basically one bad thing is she's putting that poor Alfred on the line. She's the one who brings him, "Hey, shoot the butler, would you?" They kill his butler. Barbara, again, the 60s Batman, "Barbara, you evil, twisted fiend." Anyway, so Jim, again, Bruce, such a wonderful, heroic moment of Bruce Wayne is he's willing to step out there to save Alfred. Now he's on the line. Jim stops him right in the nick of time. Again, this rings so true to a classic Batman Gordon scene. I loved it. Gordon just being ready in the moment, just basically telling Batman, "No, we need a plan here. What are we doing?"
Exactly, yeah.
Basically, Jim stops him and says, "No, Bruce, you can't go out there." And then, oh my God, this seems so great. Just Bruce looking at him and saying, again, the acting on the eyes is so great in the scene, just looking directly at him with all the intensity. This kid brings it, really does, saying, "I have to help Alfred. There's no way I'm not going out to help Alfred."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Gordon giving him this look. He gives him this look of, oh my God, it's such a Batman Gordon moment. He looks at him and he just has a moment of looking in the kid's eye and realizing, there's nothing I can say to stop this.
Right, exactly.
They put a mustache on him. He's Gordon in that scene. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
You know what would be great about the mustache? What if he somehow gets a scar on his upper lip and is forced to grow a mustache?
No, I think it's a little. No, I wouldn't go that way.
No, you won't go that far? All right.
He does have the perfect upper lip for a mustache, so you got to admit.
We were just talking about permanent scars, and he still has the bump on the eye and stuff.
Right. Anyway, so then again, just also one of the great things in the background is Jerome going, "Brucey,
come out, Bruce."
In some stories, when he does find out Bruce Wayne's identity, he just goes, whenever he goes Brucey, it's so twisted and scary.
Right.
I will not let him hurt Alfred. And then Gordon's reaction. And then basically, Jerome is like, "Well, I'm bored. Shoot the butler." Just as,
Where's my pony?
Where's my pony? Okay, anyway, so Gordon behind the curtain, Bruce steps out. Wait! And he runs up to Alfred, and I love this moment. It's such a brilliant thing. I love this whole act. This climax is brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think this is probably one of the best scenes of the show. This is a definitive scene of the show.
From what I hear, this moment is going to inform how Bruce and Gordon are going to interact through the whole season. This little
absolutely, I could totally see that.
Basically, Bruce Gordon realizing he can't really stop Bruce from helping him out in these situations. So basically, Bruce runs up to Alfred. Alfred says, "Wait, what are you doing?" He says, "There's a gun in my jacket, and Detective Gordon's behind the curtain." So basically, Alfred quickly, real slyly grabs the gun. He's got MI6 training after all. He grabs the gun.
Or maybe he just got some training from Huel.
Yeah, maybe that. So basically, then, oh my God, this great tense moment. Then Jerome runs up, he grabs Bruce and holds him at knife point. Oh my God, he holds him at knife point in this moment.
Yeah, and again, we know that he's going to make it out alive, but we're still tense as hell.
Oh God, it's so tense. And anyway, he said, "Hey, check to see if any party crashes behind the curtain." And then basically, a gunman's going there, and Gordon just shoots the gunman right there. Alfred's pulling out his gun. They're shooting a bunch of guys around him.
Gordon really kind of comes out with a little, it's almost it's kind of half slow motion behind the curtain.
Yeah, it's really, you see the gun pull out, then bang.
Mhm.
You know, it's like there's a moment there. It's really cool. Anyway, so again, Alfred and Gordon are taking names and everything. Then you have this great shot. Oh my god, the ultimate standoff in Batman. Oh, so cool. So Alfred has his gun trained on Jerome, and so does Gordon, but they don't have any clear shots. As Bruce is right in front of him, knife presses her. And you never see this these days. Knife presses her so close it's actually drawing blood.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah.
tense. It's like, oh my god. But again, we know he's gonna live, but oh my god. And this is like the moment we got in the promo of like him being held hostage by Jerome, and then all the two of them so close together. Again, future Batman, future Joker. It's so cool. So basically, I don't have a clean. Just them saying I don't have a clean shot. It's so tense. And I think the rewatching this, the tension in the scene is like, Gordon's gonna take that shot.
Right.
Jerome, Gordon is more than willing to shoot Jerome in the face this season. So, I mean, it's like, oh my god, is he going to do it? And that's the thing, Gordon's going to push that line. I mean, saving Bruce. I mean, he bonded over this kid. This kid has inspired him since season 1. He's going to have to take that shot. And if he doesn't, then Alfred's definitely going to. Someone's going to take a shot.
Well, someone definitely does take a shot, but
yes, but basically, again, there's such a brilliant. I love this shot though of like just Jerome holding like the close up of these two heads together,
Sure.
So what do you say, Bruce? You want to boost our ratings? And you see the shot of him like drawing the blood on the knife, like on his throat, some blood drawing in Batman versus Joker, and then he says, "Smile." I love it when he says "smile." just Jerome saying "smile" to Batman. That's so cool. Okay, then basically Gallivan says, "I said that's enough."
Oh yeah. Here we go. Here's the game changer, folks.
Jerome turns around, and the unexpected happens. What happens?
I about lost it. I was just like, no.
Yeah,
no.
For a moment, I thought, okay, so you got to be part of a master plan, like faking his death or something. Basically, he stabs him right in the neck. Stabs him right in the neck. Wow.
Let's just give the writers of Gotham a round of applause right here.
Yeah.
Because seriously, great misdirection. Great fucking misdirection. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Now, I have my concerns. I do think that Jerome is going to possibly leave kind of an empty hole in the series, and I feel like maybe a few episodes from now we might be missing him. But having said that, my god, this was a great reveal. It
was. But again, so this next stab comes out of complete nowhere, and then it's just like, oh, and then I loved how this scene plays out. It's a brilliant scene. It just says, Gallivan silently apologizing to Jerome as Jerome is like completely shocked, as he's leaning him down, says, I know, it's not part of the plan. I'm so sorry, Jerome. You have real talent.
Oh, man.
But it's basically
and I think he's genuine about that, too. He genuinely is sorry about it.
Remember, he took a liking to this kid. He saw great potential, and Gallivan's a guy who's really genuine with that stuff. And he's like, he's disappointed people want out of the plan and stuff. He says, well, how the plan turns and enter the hero. And then Jerome's last words saying, you said I was gonna be. And he doesn't get to finish it. Then you see the blood. I got the blood forming around his mouth and everything. And
so awesome.
And then he dies with a smile on his face, just like the Jack Nicholson Joker.
How freaking symbolic is that?
And what's even better, it plays like a Burton-esque cue following that. Like you hear the circus Joker music playing as he dies. So Nicholson-esque. I loved it. That's how you kill off a Joker. You give him the Jack Nicholson ending.
And then, what's Barbara's reaction?
Well, she looks up dramatically. And she runs away, and Leslie says, Jim, go after her! And unfortunately, doesn't just take the kill shot. She escapes down the trap door.
Yeah.
Darn it. All right, so then we see what the reaction to all this chaos is. Again, powerful scene, and comes out of nowhere. Brilliant ideas, going off through. We'll get into the thoughts on that when we get to the aftermath in a moment here.
Sure.
Penguin comments on this is a great idea of just having Penguin comment on all the Jerome stuff.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I think there was a meta joke. Of course,
he'll be the one that's criticizing everything.
And I think there's like a meta joke of like, well, Penguin hasn't been in this episode or last episode, really. So just like we kind of comment.
No, he's been quiet. He's been quiet.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big role in the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so basically, it makes sense because Penguin and Joker always have some animosity with each other in the comics. It's always like a bit of insult-based relationship. Like Joker always
Right.
ruins Penguin's plans and he just hates him. He hates clowns, especially Harley Quinn. Anyway, so he's not. There's no room for a man like that in this town. He's not part of the tradition. He's just chaos for chaos's sake. And then just he hears Jerome laughing on the.
I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one when I caught it.
Yes, I love Penguin saying this idea cracked me up. Just the Penguin saying, I just hears Jerome laughing. And he thinks, maybe I could use a new laugh. Just maybe, he's like thinking, this guy's kind of getting all the headlines. Maybe I could use a new laugh. I don't know. So then, take us to the scene, Tiki. What happens?
Okay, so in walks Harvey Bullock. Oh boy. And Bullock is genuinely impressed. I think he is genuinely impressed.
Oh yeah, but, the worm has turned.
Right.
If I think hard enough, I can still picture you as that little umbrella boy and, holding Fish Mooney's umbrella. And you feel the tension in this scene of Penguin just restraining himself so much from having Bullock killed. Because there's talk on the street that, Jim owes you a favor. They killed the guy. That basically, about Jim's favor, the whole killing the guy thing. And he says, well, rumors. Well, Jim's basically saying, well, where there's smoke, but don't worry, Jim doesn't have to worry about that. Well, here's the problem, Penguin. Jim is worried. He was reluctant to come to you. So basically, as long as you remain friends with him, everything's gonna be fine, pretty much. So then Bullock, he's still not happy, he's proving his point here. This moment shocked me almost as much as the Jerome thing, to be honest with you. Nothing could really eclipse the Jerome thing, but this is like a second. I was like on the edge of my seat wondering when this is going to happen. It's like Bullock's like holding this wine glass, and then he takes a drink. Like, oh no, Bullock, your sobriety.
Right.
No! And then basically he puts it, he's holding it and he puts it down and says, maybe I just want to, basically I want to beat you senseless right now with some garbage cans in the back alley. But maybe another time, because then the henchmen are getting a little closer. Maybe another time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come after Jim Gordon, you're gonna have to go after me, because I still owe you fish.
Now call yourself whatever you want, but you'll always be Fish's little umbrella boy to me.
But seriously, though, this place is amazing. Moi.
Moi.
Moi. Anyway, so then he leaves, and then Penguin just takes the same wine glass and he smashes it, and get me another drink. Oh, Penguin, there's little victories. Okay, so then, oh god, this scene again, just another like Batman in the same room. Just the corpse is taken away. Oh my god.
Yeah, and I like how it's not even covered up at all. The face is just completely exposed.
And I love this bit. I love this subtle bit. Just Bruce takes a glance at it as it wheels away before he's like in the next scene. Bruce like hesitates, looking at it for a moment. I love that. It's like, oh, he's haunted by this is going to come back.
Of course he is.
Anyway, so basically, this great bit of like Bruce being told by Alfred and Gordon, your parents would be proud. Your parents would be proud of all this. They also give me a stern talking to, but they'd be proud of you. They're proud of all of us. Mm-hmm. And no word on Barbara, she escaped. And then Gallivan, oh boy, this is again Gallivan proving his point. Again, the whole Jerome kill is the forward Gallivan becoming the hero and being above scrutiny.
Yeah, people didn't really notice his kind of awkward delivery on camera because they're kind of falling head over heels with him.
I'm not sure if you picked up on this, Sticky, but again, Bruce Wayne was targeted specifically by Jerome for this guy. Gallivan wanted him to pick out Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne is one of Gallivan's main targets. And again, it wants to avoid scrutiny by Bruce Wayne being the by Bruce Wayne being the he saves the young innocent orphan of Gotham in full view in front of everyone. And Jerome could have been briefed on the ending of that plan. Right. Basically, if Gallivan gets like a round of thank yous, thank you if there's anything we can do for you, you name it, thank you so much, good job. Basically, it's kind of set up here is nice. It's something they've been building this season. It's going to be a little team here of Bruce, Gordon, Alfred, and Leslie Tompkins. It's this little group here of our heroes this season.
Yeah, you're right. That is kind of becoming the core of the season so far.
Never did like magicians.
No, they didn't.
Yep, but anyway, so then there's this great thing of Alfred having his conversation with Tompkins there, and basically saying, well, you know, good night's sleep will do you some good. And I love Gordon's, this cracked me up so much, is Gordon's reaction to the flirtation. And then there's basically Gordon's reaction of like, is like looking like back and forth a little bit, and then he looks to Bruce, and Bruce just gives him a look back of like Bruce, if he didn't know beforehand, now he knows. Now Bruce is smart.
So. Yeah.
I love it. I love that Bruce is able to pick up on it before Alfred in this scene of like, okay, now Bruce definitely knows. And then I love this. This is such a classic. You know, it's just cementing the whole Batman Gordon dynamic we're gonna have years down the line. Of like, Alfred, come on, Alfred. Just like we're leaving, Alfred. Just that bit of like calling Alfred away before he makes a fool out of himself, and then as he leaves, they notice. You know, I love this. After all the stressful night they've had, you know. Gordon asked for the kiss this time. Yeah, kiss me.
And then Alfred turns around. He's like, "Oh, come on! Oh, you knew, Master Bruce."
I didn't know. So again, I mean, we know he knew in that moment. I think he knew the whole time. To be honest with you, I want to say he knew the whole time. Really funny, really funny. Okay, so then then there's this really great, and this is like a rare happy ending for Jim Gordon. I love this. It's really nice. He and Leslie Thomas are at the GCPD, and he takes down the do not cross table in Essence office. Just see this moment of Gordon standing in front of Essence empty office. It's a really nice. Then they hold each other's hand, and they walk away. That's nice. That's the ending you want Gordon to have, you know.
Sure.
Then we're getting to the best part of one of the best parts of the episode. Okay. So there's a news report going on talking about Jerome. Basically, there's an unpleasant moment before that awesome ending. Gallivan and Barbara, they have a little scene together, and you know, take us through. I don't have the patience. Take us through.
They're watching the news footage, and Gallivan's like, "Well, now the real fun begins." And then Barbara, you know.
Well, importantly, he says Jerome never would have. You know, he was good, but he never would have lasted in this town.
Right.
Lasted long in this town.
And then Barbara just starts, you know, she just starts macking on him.
I don't know. He had a way about him.
And who's watching but Tabitha?
So basically, she sees, you know, Barbara's like, "Oh, you hurt your poor little head," and then they kiss, and Tabitha see, and they say, "Oh, love triangle, that could burn."
Oh dear God!
Again, it's a good episode, but with a speed bump.
Right.
Bump. But you know, hopefully a minor one in the grand scheme. We'll see. Just only. Again, apparently this Maniacs group keeps getting killed off left and right, so we'll see how long Barbara sticks around. Remember, they started with 6 people, now they're down to 2.
That's true. That's good.
And only 2 episodes have gone by. Went from 6 to 2, just Barbara and Amidala.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, so then, again, this ending is so brilliant. So, I don't want to toot my own horn that much, but... So again, Jerome has set up, is inspired the violent citizens of Gotham, the people, the unstable members of Gotham. So if they weren't just as violent and crime-ridden already, they now have a role model. You know, the theatrical guy.
I like how this sort of escalates. It's like at first, it's like you see like the guys at the bar, and they're kind of almost laughing at Jerome in a way.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, "Oh, look at how crazy this guy is." And then you see the Asian kid who's very creepy, by the way.
Well, the kid with the braces, who's like he's
right.
Background. Essentially, folks, what's happening here? First of all, I want to point out a really great line that Essen had that really kind of pays off here. She said to Jerome, "Listen, little man, you are going to die, and the city will not remember your name." Now, importantly, she is absolutely right in a way. Right,
because no one's going to remember his name. They're just going to remember his ideology.
Exactly. They remember his ideology, and you know, down the line they might say, "Oh, this guy's very familiar to another guy." But still, they're not going to know his name, but he is going to have an impact, and still he is going to die, which he did.
Okay, so then kind of the gut punch of the whole episode, we see...
So we see set up many potential Jokers throughout Gotham.
Yes. And then at the end of it, there's some guys watching TV from a department store window.
Which is nice. Again, timeless feeling there.
Right. And a homeless guy walks by, and as Jerome's laughing on the TV, the guys start laughing, and basically just it seems like it's bad news for the homeless.
Such an American Psycho bit coming up here. Basically.
Right.
They follow. We cut to the alley, and basically what's going on as the 2 of them have stabbed the homeless guy to death. They're laughing about it. Then the other guy, like high fives his buddy and basically stabs him repeatedly and is laughing all the way, stabbing him and killing him, just showing
Oh
how
my God,
violent
you're
and
right.
crazy.
That's totally American Psycho.
Just how crazy and violent people are, and as this goes on, as this horrible, gruesome violence is going on. Again, insane violence, like laughing and high-fiving your buddy and stabbing him. And he's not just stabbing once to kill him, he keeps on like stabbing for the heck of it, like just casually with one arm, like, huh. So then we hear the brilliant quote. What is the brilliant quote?
You will be a curse upon Gotham. Children will wake from sleep screaming at the thought of you. Your legacy will be death and madness. And then we get a close-up on Jerome in the morgue, still with a bloody smile on his face.
This is very similar to the Arkham City comics of, like, you know, basically focusing on Joker's corpse still being a major player, just like still such a creepy image, and basically looking at it. And here's I thought it was brilliant, and I believe this is from his first appearance, if I'm right. You hear Jerome's laugh as again, exactly like the '89 Batman, because you hear like a little laughing box on him. It's like you close up on Jerome's face after, you know, the legacy you've built. You've scarred the city beyond repair, and then you look at him and then you hear like da, da, da.
So good. All right,
so good.
Really quickly, we have about 5 minutes to get through final thoughts and speculation. So
all right, so let's get. Want to get through some spec?
Sure. We have 3 episode titles. So you want to go through those?
All right, real quick. What are the episode titles?
Okay, episode 4 is Strike Force.
That's going to be setting up our new character, and he's going to be targeting the Penguin.
Interesting. So yeah, like you said, Penguin will be a major player there.
I'll tell you what the specifics of that are going to be in 1 second.
Episode 5. Let's see if I can pronounce this right. Is it Scarification?
Yeah, Scarification.
Scarification?
I thought, is it Scarification or Scarification? Yeah, Scarification makes sense. I'm sorry, you're right.
Scarification. Is this going to be the Scarecrow?
You know, I to be honest with you, Tiki, I don't think we're going to get him this season. I think they're holding him off till next season.
All right.
Because I think they have a lot of villains on the way. They're definitely intending on paying off, which they've confirmed, which I'm going to let you know in a minute here. But I don't think there's room for Scarecrow this season. I think they're building him for like a big with no Jerome. I think there's going to be a big Scarecrow next season.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so that one's going to be a Galavan and Penguin teaming up that episode.
Oh, okay.
Whether it's going to be of their own own accord or not, we'll see.
And then episode 6 is going to be called By Fire.
Oh, that's going to be the Firefly episode.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, the gang of Fireflies. Like, I guess it's going to be like a mantle being passed around, perhaps. We'll see.
But I mean, in terms of the grand scheme, I hope they don't go too over the top with, like, there's literally a new Joker every week or something like that. I just hope that they continue the Joker in terms of being an ideology and kind of like holding on to it. Maybe like once every season or once or twice every season, we'll have like a new guy kind of take up the mantle. What do you think? How do you think they're going to go about it?
I've got an interesting theory. Before I touch on it, you want to go through the promo real quick of the next episode, or do you want to go through directly into Jerome's spec?
I did not see the promo.
I can tell you quickly what the promo is.
Yeah, quickly.
So basically, the promo, it's like Bullock telling Gordon, Gotham doesn't have straight lines. It's all twists and turns and dead ends. Victor Zsasz. Victor Zsasz is going to have a big role. He's in full force this next episode. He's going to be unleashing chaos. Yep. Captain Nathaniel Barnes is coming in. Michael Chiklis playing him. He has a really cool bit saying to Gordon, says, "Oh, you're a troublemaker, aren't you?" "Yes, you're my second in command." Basically, so
I've been waiting for him to show up, so that should be fun.
So Barnes is taking charge, and he says, here's what we're doing. This is an interesting setup for next episode. It's a brilliant setup. He says, we see a bunch of masked cronies of the Penguin. I assume they're for the Penguin. We see a bunch of masked guys walking around, like no one notable. It's like guys in like kind of like casual like bank robber mask and stuff. Mm-hmm. Not a ski mask, but like kind of like guys with the hats and bandana mask. Right. Point is, we got henchmen around this episode, and then the big thing is that he says we're taking down the Penguin. And we linger on a shot of Gordon, realizing Gordon's tense about this because again that whole business with the Penguin he's going to have to worry about.
Yeah, and I think at this point they don't want the Penguin to be taken down, dare I say.
I think the consequences of Gordon's actions are going to be in full force this next episode. Again, with a guy he wants to work with. He wants to work with Barnes, but again, taking down the Penguin as the first objective is going to prove a huge speed bump for Gordon.
Of course, of course. All right, so yeah, can't wait for that. Move the plot right along.
Oh yeah. So again, spec for Stuffy. So with Jerome, I think would be really neat. So again, I kind of called it that Jerome. I didn't expect him to die, but I expected him to inspire Gotham. He's scarred in many ways, and he's induced madness and violence to an already violent city, and the ego is kind of permeated the city. So we could get potential jokers, and I think the really smart way to introduce a potential Joker, ideally like the second half of this season, if they can do it, would be if they mixed the Red Hood gang with let's say the Red Hood gang were inspired by Jerome. So that way you get a couple of Red Hood, like a couple and or one Red Hood Joker.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which is like the comics, because that's one of the routes of the Jokers. He's a member of the Red Hood gang, which we already had going on with the Red Hood gang already, speculatory-wise, but now it makes perfect sense. And what I'm really hoping going forward, a way they could have Jerome within the season without actually having him in the season, is if they kept again, that ideology idea that people have been talking about, like if he motivated some of these villains to become villains in a way.
And maybe the show could make like new characters, but have them based on different incarnations of the Joker.
Yeah,
like you could have a Jack Napier type character.
Sure. But in addition to that, though, I'm saying it would be kind of neat is like if they have like somehow like a news broadcast still going on of like people like cults mourning Jerome, and it's like saying, "Oh, the Laughing Man."
The Laughing Man. I like that.
I mean, there are a few names for like in the Scott Snyder Batman run he had recently. There was an idea the Joker in the ancient days of Gotham was called the Pale Man.
The Pale Man. Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Bill Fitzgerald. I'm saying there are a bunch of names like the Laughing Man or the Smiling Man or the Pale Man. I'm saying these give them.
I think I've heard the Pale Man is another urban legend.
Well, I mean,
I have to look into
Snyder.
that.
Snyder made it work though.
Sure, absolutely.
But you see what I'm saying?
So seriously though, we have to wrap up.
All right, I don't have a lot. Just basically the guy is mixing the Red Hood idea with the Jerome, saying maybe a few of the Red Hoods. That's a way to bring back the Red Hood, and that ties into the Jerome idea, and also maybe have some of that Jerome broadcast still playing through the season and some cults forming. Again, I still think they've confirmed definitely who we're going to see most likely in this first half. Hugo Strange, Mr. Freeze, and Firefly. Those are the three we're definitely going to see this season. Mad Hatter.
Yeah, you're right. With all three of those in the picture, I think it'll be hard to fit in someone like the Scarecrow.
Now they haven't mentioned Mad Hatter or Clayface. I'm thinking they're going to be in the second half. That's my guess. But I know they've been really selling Hugo Strange and the other two, and I think Hugo Strange is going to be. If Jerome doesn't inspire villains, I think Strange is going to create some villains too, which I think as part of Galavan's plan could be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there's anything really pressing here. Again, Bullock's off the wagon, and he's probably going to be a target of the Penguin because of his little stand there. Let's see. We're going to see
Silver. Anything more from Scotty?
Oh, but they got to have some sort of closure with Scotty. I'm sure she's going to appear again, so I'm not sure. I wonder if she's going to get killed off. Penguin might kill her off, actually.
Oh, don't say that. That'd be terrible.
I think if he doesn't kill her off, he's going to threaten her. He's going to go after her at some point.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Now I'm afraid.
And the comeuppance might be a Penguin having his mother being targeted, because that's what Galavan is going to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't seen Mrs. Cobblepoot yet.
It's like Galavan or Tigress is going to be like watching his mother. Also, with that, I'm predicting that the next episode is going to end with the Penguin like he's about to be captured or something. Basically, Penguin's in a tough spot, and Galavan is going to bail him out. So then Penguin's going to be indebted to Galavan.
That'd be an interesting way to go with it.
That's what I'm convinced the episode's going to end with the team up being formed in some way, and I think it's going to be Galavan bailing Penguin out of a jam, and that's why he's now involved in Galavan's master plan because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if there's any, I think it's about. Again, Galavan.
Seriously, we have to wrap it up.
Again, I mentioned Galavan sounding a lot more like Court of Owls, and we're getting Silver St. Cloud, and the connection may be that Silver St. Cloud is like his niece, Galavan's niece.
Okay.
We'll see. That's all I really got for spec. But yeah, so overall thoughts. We like the episode?
Yeah, I definitely I feel like season 2 in general is kind of like raising the bar a little bit. I feel this is way more kind of like concise, put together storytelling, and not like, oh, what's the case of the week? You know what I mean? What crazy bad guy are we going to be focusing on? I feel like there's a lot of pieces that are being put into play. I think this episode was definitely one of the most well put together and one of the most like, it was certainly a good bottle episode. It was one of the best twists I think the series has thrown at us thus far, and I think this moment, looking back on it, is going to be a moment that's going to impact a lot of things going forward. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I think this episode, City really kind of served as a great background character, in this, and how this it celebrates what Galvin's master plan was. This episode it celebrates the kind of hero that just kills a guy on screen. They celebrate him. They're going nuts for this guy. It embraces this chaos in some way. I think that was kind of a neat idea they had in the background. But overall, this episode, the Joker idea paid off greatly.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great idea. It was a really fun episode. Again, all the Jerome bits of the performance was phenomenal. Again, getting a taste of Joker for down the line. It was. In the end, also, there were these moments that it was so satisfying seeing the good guys win against Jerome in the end.
And a lot of awesome kind of setup with Bruce and Jerome. That was kind of some of the highlights of the episode.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, it really kept you on edge. And just this whole episode, as the other ones have been, they keep you on edge and they keep you coming back for more. And I was really drawn to that. Again, it felt so. This was such a great glimpse at classic Batman. This whole episode. This is such a Joker setup. It's like a Joker story in an episode. And I love that. And if they can pull more episodes up like this, and that's the hope. Now they officially said they have not cast an actor for a definitive Joker yet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And basically,
that's smart. They need to take their time with this. Yeah. They need to let the Jerome stuff kind of settle before doing anything official.
And again, it makes me think that again, be kind of neat if like now and again you have like a background, like a potential Joker setup, or like a laughing killer of some kind.
Right.
Inspired by him, basically.
Which in a way they were kind of doing that a little bit. There were hints of that in season 1. But it'd be great to see that kind of like amped up a little bit.
Exactly. Again, we had like the comedian and the comedian in the first episode.
And then the laugh in Arkham.
Yes, and then we had, of course, the Red Hood gang, which again I think that's the brilliant transition with that them being inspired by them, because they were all about showmanship, and who's the ultimate showman in Gotham at this point? Jerome.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think we get a few hints of that going forward without just going overblown of like Jerome's, like keeping him still in the universe and his ideology in the universe. It'd still be great going forward, and I have hope that if they get good actors like Cameron Monaghan as Joker, it could pay off. If you get a whole slew of great actors playing Joker, if they play their cards right, or just a bunch of people who are just like emulating aspects of Joker's personality, which could be good. Again, really fun episode, and last thing to say about it is that down the line, again, it's the show we're never going to see, but I'd like to think they would do.
What, have Dylan as young Bruce Wayne?
Not that show.
not that show that we're never going to see.
No, seriously though, it's like in the show, because they've said the minute he puts on the costume, the show ends. But I'm saying, like, in my mind, I think the show would be great if Cameron Monaghan actually did get to play the official Joker down the line. But it's like the idea of like the man who died for the Joker is actually the Joker, but he's covered in makeup and stuff, and he's so similar to him. But Batman.
That'd be really creepy and cool, honestly.
That I'd love that to be the idea, and I think that might be like a great unofficial idea of like if we ever saw the end of this, it would be like Monaghan would still be the Joker, but in the idea of like, well, the actual Joker died, but now he's still around, and the Snyder Batman actually, the Snyder comic Endgame for Batman is actually suggests the Joker might be immortal. So
right.
I'm not saying like we're not going to see that on this show, but I love the idea of like you can't kill off the Joker, and that'd be a great way to show that. But again, that's a show we're never going to see. But with the show we did see this episode, it was great. It was like all the fun I could ask for. Again, a little speed bubble and Barbara, but it makes me want more of this show. So such a great.
Overall, was Gotham firing on all cylinders, I think.
Absolutely. So I guess
I think the only question is if this show can still be as engaging without Jerome.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think that's the question.
People have criticized this, and I think the reason they've criticized is because they think they've blown their wad on this one. I think
that's a legit concern too. The Walking Dead actually did something very similar, where they had an incredibly charismatic villain, and he got killed off after 3 episodes into season 5. And then I think season 5 recovered in the second half, but like the second half of the season's first half, if that makes any sense.
Right, but
like episodes 4 through 8, those were a drag.
But you know why
we didn't have the charismatic villain.
But you know why I have hope, and this is the last thing I'm going to go out on here.
Okay.
The reason I have hope that the show hasn't blown their wad is because they've been with the whole Joker. That remember I've told you, and I've told you countless times that they've kept promoting the idea that there are going to be hints of Joker, and that this season Jerome was going to be in the DNA of Joker, and they haven't said he's going to be Joker one way or another, and it paid off. And I'm thinking, so it gives me faith that they're going to pay off these other things they've set up, and it's going to go well.
And there's certainly a lot of storytelling going on. There's certainly a lot on the table. I'm curious to see what happens with Penguin. I think if they play their cards right, Galavan can potentially be a really good villain. I think Tabitha's kind of a problem, but we'll see what they do with her.
Again, they have plans, and so far they've kept their words on those plans paying off. So far.
Sure. Okay. All right, so go ahead, boss. Take us out.
Right. A little theatricality in honor of our fallen star. So remember, kiddies, no matter how dark and scary the world may be right now, and boy is it scary, there will be light. There will be a blinding light with a silhouette of a pointy-eared rodent down the line in the future.
Next time, when we go exploring Gotham, once again.
Yeah. I want a pony.
Yes, get me a pony. Right away, stat, or I will stop killing people. I demand a pony.